Yeah, so dude, like I was saying, like, dude, why in the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin, how come they were grilling the guy for having a framed Asia debut album cover? Like, I don't understand that. Like,
That
if
I
you listen
don't
to
know.
Asia, you don't get girls. Like,
I,
oh,
I
you.
did, I did when I was in sixth grade. I had a girlfriend.
Oh, so you would have been in sixth grade when Asia came out.
Oh yeah, that was the soundtrack of my life.
I don't understand that. Maybe it's a joke, like you can't move on or something, or.
I have no idea.
And that album cover, if you don't get leg tonight with that album cover, I mean,
Exactly,
dude,
exactly.
Hydra, Pearls, I mean, come on.
It's amazing. I know.
And I know we were also talking about like you listening to any punk. And by the way, hint, hint, we got a punk episode coming out pretty soon.
Yes, going to over the Prague
And just to
stuff.
make sure you don't hate punk like you hate grunge, right?
I know I love punk. I'm a huge Pistols fan, The Damned, English punk, CBGB's punk,
Do you remember my
television.
favorites? I
Yours,
have one that I obsess about.
one punk band. I don't remember.
I know we talked about it. Maybe? Okay, Buzzcocks.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
love
Other
that, and
English band.
I have the Joe picks, like the
Yeah,
Joe Silky Joe picks, where he picks like we're like, whoa, I never would have thought of that.
yeah.
Um, Gang of Four, one of my you will. I don't know if you ever heard of Gang of Four. I'll probably send you
Heard of
some
them, but I
links,
don't know if I didn't listen to them too much.
dude. As a bass player, you're gonna man like bass tone and bass, and
Yeah,
I think this is the way you say it, staccato guitar riffs.
yeah.
Like
Oh
the,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it's like bing
Punchy.
bam bing bam, like they sound punchy, and I
Exactly.
feel like that's such a punk sound.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I can't wait. So because we're gonna be talking, we're gonna make a complete left field. So no
Oh
more
yeah.
time signatures,
No.
complex lyrics,
And
30
then
minutes
I have
on.
Mr. Black told me about a show we should do. How Punk Killed Prague.
Yeah, dude, I love it. I
No.
would wonder, do you think Silky Joe wants to come up for that one?
I don't know how much of a punk fan he is. You
Okay,
know?
I do. It's funny. You would think like you being it's funny how much we love punk, but at the same time, like we don't fit the punk aesthetic.
No,
It's
no.
it's odd, but I love punk. Like I think we were saying that the Sex Pistols, their debut is actually pretty good.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah. Never mind.
every riff is, it's actually really well produced. Kind of ironically, because I know,
I just love the angst and going against authority of punk.
do
You
you
know what
think
I
like
mean?
angst rage, right? Like teenage
Yeah.
rage, rebellion, full
Hmm.
throttle. It reminds me when rock and roll in the 60s, because in many ways, like let's say like I know this is odd, but like bands like and by the way, we're gonna talk about prehistoric punk, right? I'm assuming like or
Yeah.
just an
That,
overview of
no.
punk.
I think that's in there too. Yeah. I have it all. I have
Yeah.
it all.
Well,
Yeah.
I have theorized that prehistoric punk, you have bands like, I think one that comes to mind is the Kinks
Oh yeah.
and how they are, and even anyone that picked up an electric guitar in the 60s was making a statement, like
Oh yeah.
of rebellion against like, and unfortunately, this is when the music of Sinatra, Nat King Cole was starting to go down because now the kids wanted rock and roll,
Exactly.
which was already a rebellion among the African Americans
Hmm.
with their rhythm and blues, which is fantastic. There's actually also Cheech. Have you seen the Elvis movie on Netflix? I think it's leaving. I think it left yesterday. But
I seen clips of it. My parents were watching it. Yeah.
dude, it for me is I think it's one of the best movies I've seen in some time. So exciting. And actually just a quick tangent. I'm sorry guys, like we're like this is a normal day at the temple,
Yeah.
minus no priest because if there were priests, we're
Because we're
like, oh.
safe. Yeah.
But dude, one of the best. The movie I recommend. I think it's one of the best musical movies. I don't know why no one. I know it had some
He
buzz.
looks like Elvis. I know that, right?
Dude, he has everything down. The music performances are amazing. Better than the Springsteen movie, I have to say, because they actually put performances of famous songs.
Yeah.
Which I feel like Springsteen movie with Deliver Me from Nowhere was um kind of missing. But this movie, released in 2022, directed by the great Baz Luhrmann. He directed The Great Gatsby. Like he makes a lot of like flashy movies, and it's
Yeah.
perfect for Elvis. It's so stylized, and one of the best scenes, and it made me think about um the origins of rock music, but specifically because Elvis delivered it to the masses.
Yeah, yeah.
But as a kid, he stumbled upon a church, goes
I
inside
know the
this
story.
church,
Yeah,
right? And oh, if you know the story, that's insane.
the
I watched.
Baptist. It was like a Baptist
I didn't
church.
even know
Yeah,
that. To be honest with you, I don't really like, for me,
and our
people are,
brother Reverend James was probably in there.
dude, yo, listen, yo, hallelujah, praise the Lord. And they had this scene where Elvis starts getting taken by the Spirit. And
Yeah.
the black pastor says, "Leave the kid alone. He has the Holy Spirit inside of him." And then he's like reaching his hand towards the sky. Years later, he channels that into one of his most famous performances. And I'm just thinking, man, see, this is why music is amazing.
Yeah.
Like the delivery of that genre in rock,
Oh yeah.
but kind of Elvis is also considered like the first punk because he
Oh, he
sort of
was because
rebelled.
he was rebelling. The girls loved him. He showed they wouldn't show his crotch. You know what I mean? They only showed him like halfway on Ed Sullivan
Famous
one
for
of
his
those shows.
gyrations. I read somewhere
Yeah.
I was reading a great book on the psychology of his like enigma. He had an enigma about him,
Yeah.
and Beatles will have the same effect too, which you would think it's odd, right? But they had this, especially Elvis. Yeah, once he started dancing, it was hypnotic. He was a little feminine as well,
Yeah.
which was in
Yeah.
rock and roll. That's gonna be like the guys are gonna be wearing makeup
Yeah.
and definitely gonna influence on later on with the punk because I feel like punk is all aesthetic at the end of the
Yeah.
day, you know?
Punk was just nihilism, angst,
Yeah.
going against,
Well, it's funny. English punk was nihilistic. New
yeah.
York was more stylized. I don't know if
Oh,
you would agree with
I
that.
agree 100%
Yeah.
because I break it down. I'm not going to get into it too much, but there's two kinds of punk. There's three kinds of punk actually. There's post-punk,
Yep.
after
Yep.
the punk,
Oh, and just one more
California
thing,
punk.
just because I had this thought. And punk will have an influence on grunge, which for me, when
Oh,
we were doing the
yes.
episode on grunge, was mind blowing. I never thought of that.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's the manifestation of punk in the 90s.
Yeah.
But a combination of angst and style with like the
hmm
flannel, like I never thought of it until you
You
mentioned
got you got the Clash, you got the Pistols, and you got the Damned. Those are the three,
Mhm.
the big three. Then in New York, you have Television, who was the number one punk band, Talking Heads and the Ramones, you know, and you could put Blondie in there, and that's a CBGB's punk.
Mhm.
But the CBGB's punk came first,
Yep.
and
Yep.
then that went out to London, and
Yep.
then the London exploded. Yeah, well, we're gonna get into
Well,
all
we're
that.
anyway, so it's a little divergent tangent, but yeah, so
It's
get
yin and yang. It's
yeah,
like total yin and yang.
look forward for the deep dive on punk. So we do genre. So this is not just progressive rock, but right now we are on the progressive rock wave. And
Yep.
speaking of progressive rock, actually before we get started, dude, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year! It's New Year's Day.
Dude, how
We
was your
should
New
play.
Year's,
It
brother?
was good, man. How about you?
Pretty good, man. Spent it with some friends,
Oh, yeah.
family. I had a good time
Fun.
last night. Didn't go crazy though. Like I'm
Yeah.
starting to appreciate like less alcohol fueled New Year's and more like, being with
Yeah.
good people,
I
like
agree. I agree. Yeah.
family, some
Yeah. Hang out with my
reading.
daughter and stuff.
Nice. Nice. Any New Year's resolutions?
Um,
Just
probably
one?
keep writing Prague. I don't know.
Yeah, we gotta write a book on Prague. Like we should do like a book we should title it don't how to get into Prague or something like
I think my New Year's
Prague 101
resolution.
or Prague
Yeah.
Basics.
Less frustration at the temple for
Yeah,
me.
more peace. You gotta channel your
Yeah.
inner Buddha, you know?
That's what I'm gonna do.
You gotta channel that inner Dharma. I think I'm probably messing it up, but
Yeah. No.
you gotta read the Kabbalah and
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Tap into all that stuff.
Dude, yo, you gotta hit that Tao too, man. Be like water, flow.
Exactly. Flow
Don't
like water.
The tree doesn't get angry; it just stands still.
It's so true. It gets pushed around.
Eh,
It's a
That.
great, that's a great one because the tree gets pushed
By the way,
and
I just made that up. I don't know if that's in the Tao. I was just like,
you made that up?
I made it up.
Sounds like
Yeah.
something Lao Tzu would have
Yeah,
said.
dude, I studied. It's funny in college. And it's funny because for our audience out there, Cheech and I are Catholic, so we love Jesus. We follow the teachings of Jesus
Yeah.
and all that. But the Tao had dude impact on me. I memorized
Me
the Tao
too.
Te Ching.
Yeah.
I read this excellent. It was weird. It was like this Winnie the Pooh. Tao
I
book. I don't,
heard about that. Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
it's amazing. And then it obviously influenced my psychology because then I began looking at like Tao states and like that inner, and obviously the Tao symbol where there's light and dark and light, right? And there's
Hmm.
harmony and balance.
Oh
I,
yeah.
I think it's fantastic. But yeah, so be like the tree, man.
There's a great guy named Wayne Dyer. You ever
Mm.
hear of him?
Heard that name.
He's
I
a
think you
new,
mentioned him.
yeah, he's one of my favorites, a new age speaker. I was
Right.
heavily into
Wait,
him.
like Alan Watts, right?
No, he's newer. He's in the past
Oh, do you know
25
Alan
to 30 years.
Watts?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a master of the Tao. Alan Watts. He's
Right.
deep. But Wayne Dyer broke down. He broke down the Tao. The Tao. If you ever want to watch his videos on YouTube, just a plug for Wayne Dyer, one of the greatest
Wow. Now, Cheech, what
modern.
is the Tao?
The Tao is basically to be with nature. That's what I get
I
out of
say
it.
that I say this as a joke, Cheech. You failed. According to Lao Tzu, no, I'm kidding. But it's weird. Lao Tzu in his Tao
One
Te
with
Ching.
nature. Be one with nature.
But you know what's weird? In if you read it, but the Tao Te Ching, one of the lines is if you can explain the Tao and know the Tao, that's not the Tao.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a trick question.
But
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, it's actually nature has a lot to do with it, and
Well, yeah,
be like nature, not
yeah,
don't be nature, be like nature, right? So
exactly,
you're not being nature, but you are actually a nature. Like that's the
exactly.
thing. You're tapping into what you see in like the natural world. So a lot of
Yeah.
nature imagery, which is fantastic. And
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, anyway, so let's quickly get
Let-
off this
Hold on. Let me just fix my. I want to make sure this is plugged in because my
yeah.
jack is coming out. Just give me
Yeah, while
one.
you do that, shout out to Bobby. He wrote some excellent, beautiful comments. I think one I still have to like and comment back. Um, Let me see if I can pull it out. It was actually really nice. So Bobby, so you're a lead singer, the people singer. It's so funny. He goes on get your reactions on this. So on, oh, by the way, we got so much new episodes out. Please,
Oh
not
yeah, yeah,
it's no better time to subscribe and watch our channel. We're also on Spotify. I'm trying to get all our episodes on there. But Bobby says, this is really funny. So I don't know if you saw this. The brand new People's Podcast. Thank you for attempting to educate this musically deprived generation of clueless, angry, crazy, sexually confused dingalings. You two have a lot of work left. This poor generation. Thank God they have the People's Podcasters.
Oh, thank you,
Such a
Bobby.
great comment.
It's amazing.
And he has another one which I just saw right now. Let me see if it's here. It's one of our videos. It was actually a shout out for his father. Yeah, so I think he's yeah. Let me like and I'll. He says here, thank you two so much. I appreciate your kind words. I'm Robert Barella Jr. called Bobby usually, and my dad was Robert Barella Sr.
Yeah,
So we can't
yeah,
answer that. Referred to as Bob. If I wasn't so honest, I'd tell you his favorite song was Big Fat Chicks, which honestly, that's my favorite song. So, dude, he has good taste. So you can play it, but his favorite was Frank Sinatra and My Way, of course.
yeah.
The Mayor was his favorite song. Thank you, man, and Happy New Year to you and your fans worldwide. Peace. What's up?
Uh,
Shout
love
out
you,
to
Bobby.
Bobby. Yeah.
Love you.
Shout out to Bobby.
And,
And
and speaking of, we have a show in Long Island. With a nice setup. Prohibition again, Massapequa, Long Island, Massapequa Park on January 7th, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. What's the address? So January 7, 10 o'clock.
Oh, shit, I didn't write that down.
You want me to
If you
put it on
go,
the below?
yeah, yeah, yeah. If you
And
go
so
to
if anyone,
the Prohibition site, you'll see the address.
all right, all right.
Yeah, so it's a far drive, but it's a cool rock and roll club. So
Awesome.
January 7th will be the headlining band.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's
Yeah.
cool. All right. So let's talk. So speaking of Potter Show VX super groups, let's talk
Yes. And we
progressive.
are a super group.
You guys are a
We
super
kind
group.
of,
Yeah, on the
from
circuit.
Viking Superstar and Bobby
You
being
guys
a
have a legendary
super group.
drummer. I mean,
Oh, we were just talking I gotta get Robbie on the show. He's an encyclopedia. You think we know a lot? Oh my God, he's the Yoda. And he's not
yeah,
only
I
the
can see that.
Yoda, he's been there. We were the other night talking. and we were talking to some gentleman, and he was saying about Jethro Tull. He saw the Benefit tour, and I'm like, holy shit, you saw Benefit? It was like 70. And Robbie was like, oh, I saw Tull on Aqualung, and then he's like, I saw Jimi Hendrix, and you know where they saw these concerts? At the County Center in White Plains. Could you imagine the
That's
County Center?
that's
These super
crazy.
groups. Well, they weren't super groups at the time, but they would go on. Mountain, Tall, The Doors, they all played at the
Right.
county center as well
Wow.
as the Capitol. Yeah, which is crazy. So, but Robbie, he's seen them all. You name a band, he's seen them in their peak, in their prime. So, one of these days we'll get
Mm.
him on the show.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, just for that experience, you can talk about those actual
yeah,
experiences of seeing these bands in their primes. I love it. I love it.
yeah.
So, okay, so progressive
So to
rock super groups. This is the topic of our show today. It's
Yeah.
funny, I think technically there could be a lot, I think, but we got it down to how many bands. Now we're talking about super groups. So these are
Yeah.
they're band
Well,
members already
so,
established,
okay,
legendary.
yeah. I mean, the supergroup existed already. Obviously, Cream and Led Zeppelin, they were the supergroups. They
Oh,
all came from
Joe would say
established artists.
Zeppelin. Silky Joe would say like Zeppelin's not a super group.
Oh, they definitely are a
That's
supergroup.
funny. But
Jimmy
have you
Page
heard him
isn't
say that?
yet.
He argues no.
I argue yes because sorry, Joe.
Yeah, it's funny.
I,
He goes because he was saying he argues that they were just kids and just like starting out and
well,
um
Page was in the Yardbirds, and they were huge. John Paul Jones was a well-known session player. He played, with Donovan and all that stuff, and a million other sessions. Page
mm,
was a session player, so I forget about that.
mm,
And the Band of Joy was well known. So yeah, were they a super group? I can see Joe's point in a way. Was the
no.
Band of Joy a super group? No, but
No, that's
Robert
funny.
Plant,
I lean on Supergroup
I lean
because
at super group. Yeah,
mhm.
Cream definitely a super.
Cream is the when we think Supergroup, they're one of the first names that pop up.
Yeah, I would
Just
say
legendary.
I think
All of them.
Cream is the first super group
Hmm.
in rock, then West Bruce and Lang, and then God, there's so many after that.
Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young
Of
being
course,
insane. Well, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and then Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. I mean,
yeah,
including Neil Young. I mean, it's over.
of course. So Prague, I wrote it down to four,
Four.
and
Okay.
it gets. I mean, I can't think of any more. And if
No,
there's
no,
been,
and the reason why I say that because I don't want no like fact checkers being like, "Yo, you," like this is
well,
because
I
there.
mean,
I did a quick search and there are a lot, and it'll be just for it'll just be too confusing. But when you think of like progressive rock greats,
yeah,
I think you nailed it. Like there are four huge ones, and just because of
yeah,
their history,
hmm
their reach, their influence, and also just their music output. I mean.
oh yeah,
They created some of the greatest music in rock music. So, we'll list them. What are they? And then we'll break them down.
okay. So Emerson, Lake and Palmer,
Mhm.
obviously the first supergroup to have massive success. Then, well, we could say before them, you could say Crimson. Let's say King Crimson before
King
yeah,
Crimson's odd because they transcend decades.
yeah,
Because it's like they become first supergroup, right? And obviously lineup changes, and then they
yeah.
release Red, another supergroup.
Well, even before Red, I researched it. Lark's Tongue and Aspect, that's a supergroup. It's still the trio.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I think the only one that left was who left? Because that was like the first lineup change, I think.
there was a percussionist that left, and I forget his
But it was
name.
still Greg Lake and
No,
Robert
Greg
Fripp.
Lake is gone. No,
That's
no.
what I'm saying. He left. Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Giles left. So it's Bill Bruford, John Wetton, and Robert Fripp, and a violin player. And I have his name when we get to it. I forget it.
Hmm.
So they're the super group because that's a super group.
Yeah.
John Wetton and Bill
No,
Bruford.
and my point with King Crimson is that they have transcended like years because they King Crimson will always be a super group
Oh
because
yeah, yeah,
no matter what change, because that group demands such excellent musicianship.
Hmm.
and led by, and then it'll eventually be, I think, led by Robert Fripp,
Yeah.
fronted, right? He'll be like one of, I think, the last original member of the King Crimson in in the Court of the Crimson
Yeah.
King era. But yeah, so what's the next one?
Then there's UK
UK.
with
UK's
the
famous, yeah.
Alan Holdsworth, Bill Bruford again, and John Wetton. You
And you're
know,
gonna, and for our audience out there, take notes. You're gonna hear certain names repeat. So one of them
and
is,
Eddie Jobson, can't forget him on keys. I forget. There's so many keyboard
so
players.
one
Yeah.
of the names is John Wetton. He's gonna be a recurring player here.
Oh yes, he is the Superman. He was also in Wishbone Ash.
There we go.
And
Yeah.
this is the story with Wishbone Ash. He joined Wishbone Ash on Number the Brave, which I recommend. It's a great album.
Right.
Late 1980 maybe.
Right.
And he had all the songs for Asia written, and they didn't want them. They didn't want the John Wetton
Hmm.
songs. So John Wetton did a solo album, and then he joined Asia, and he had all the songs written.
All set.
So
Yeah. Ready.
that's been,
Success ready.
yeah,
So okay. So King Crimson.
yeah.
Uh.
You want to
Uh.
start with them? You
No.
want to
No. I'm
start?
listing them. So, so
Mhm. Yeah,
there's a launching pad. So King Crimson. Second, you said.
yeah. ELP.
EO. So EOP. So I guess we'll go in order. So King Crimson,
Hmm.
ELP, UK, and then
And
finally
then Asia.
Asia. So yeah. So those are the four, and they all have like. It's funny because all four of them will have band members that are coming in.
Intertwined.
They're
Yeah.
intertwined. They're interchanging, and they create probably at least one insane legendary album. Like obviously a lot of good albums, but
Oh yeah.
there's one that
Well,
that
you think about it. Let's do we'll break it. We'll do the mathematics of the supergroup. You have uh Bill Bruford was in Yes.
and now Bill
Okay.
Bruford for our audience out there. Bill Bruford. So give what was their instrument and
He was a drummer from Yes. And then he went into King Crimson and he played on the Larks and Tongue album, and he played on, I always forget, Larks, Tongue and Aspect. And he played on Red, the greatest King Crimson album ever. I think, Court of the Crimson King, they're neck and neck. Then he joined UK. So Bill Bruford is like a checkers. He's jumping around.
Mhm.
Okay. Greg Lake is in King Crimson. Then he forms Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Okay. So now the Nice, which Keith Emerson was in,
Mhm.
they were pretty big. And then that's the super group of that. Then Palmer, we talked about that in the last episode, Atomic
Mhm.
Rooster. Um, then we have who did I say now? Okay, I said UK. John Wetton and Bill Bruford were in UK. They were both in King Crimson. Then the biggest super group, John Wetton, Steve Howe, Carl Palmer, Jeffrey Downs
And before you
formed
say,
Asia.
oh, I was gonna say, don't say the band name. Just those names. Steve Howe, guitarist, legendary
Yeah.
guitarist on Yes. You have John Wetton, who is already on Red. If he just did Red alone,
Oh yeah.
oh my goodness, just
Well, he did
vocals.
he did 3 albums with Crimson.
No, no, I'm saying, but just for
Yes.
Red
Oh
alone,
yeah,
if
yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
only did Red, dude, this guy he's in UK. So you got John Wetton, you got Steve Howe, the legendary Carl Palmer of
Yeah.
Emerson, Lake and
Oh my
Palmer.
God.
They decided to join and create this little band called Asia in
Yeah.
1982. And it's funny because most people know the song Heat of the Moment. I think it's considered one of the classic 80s songs.
Oh yeah.
But without progressive rock, you wouldn't have Asia. Like
No.
because
And then
it was Steve Howe, just for Steve Howe,
yeah,
Carl Palmer, John Wetton, and who was the last one?
Jeffrey Downs, who played on Drama. Yes, his last album.
What instrument did he play?
Keyboards. The
Oh, so he's
Forbidden
the
album.
keyboard. So
The
he's the
Forbidden
one
album.
playing that, na 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 na
And he
na
played
na
on
na na
video. I think
na.
he played on Video Killed the Radio Star with Trevor Horn.
Trevor Horn. And Trevor Horn's another interesting I'm gonna say bloke because he's English, but he's another interesting bloke because he the Buggles, it's a weird band name, but the Buggles,
Yeah,
Buggles,
Buggleston.
Buggles, uh
Buggleston.
Video Killed the Radio Star considered the first, I think the first video, but also it's weird because he's a one-hit wonder. So,
Yeah,
but behind the scenes,
he's a
he's
genius.
he's a he's. I heard he was considered one of the greatest producers,
Oh
sought
yeah.
after. His involvement in Yes, driving. Also, he was a keyboard player, right? What
Um,
did he play?
he's a singer.
Oh, he was a singer. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jeffrey Downs was a keyboard player. The Forbidden Drama album. When I say forbidden, I get hated maybe because I love that
I know
album.
you
It's
for years make it kid. I'll be honest, I was listening to Drama and Tornado.
Tomato. Yeah.
They're not bad. They're just different.
Well, Drama's 80s. Drama has a UK feel to it. It's not.
I no, I was listening to first track of Drama. I can see your point. Like,
It's going into
and
the
the lead
80s.
singer is
Trevor Horn.
Trevor Horn, and
Yeah.
on Tomato.
Tomorrow is everybody, and yes, it's the original. Yes,
It's interesting. It has a different sound though.
Wakeman's on it. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
interesting.
And then I guess Joe. I think saw that tour in college,
That must have
or
been
he
yo.
had the album.
That must have been amazing.
Yeah.
Seeing Yes
Um,
in Town.
but in Toronto, the album did not do good.
No. I
It
think
was
Yes
split
were on the
between.
steady decline, sadly.
Yeah.
I think
I don't know
Did
why.
Drama do well?
I don't think so because it didn't have John Anderson. You
Makes
know,
sense. Makes sense.
and I think John Anderson quit, and then they did Drama, and I thought it was great. And I sent you a video on it. And Trevor Horn was always under a lot of pressure to be in Yes, and he was already successful with that. So that song was out on the radio. Well, that song was already famous when he was in Yes, and it was like Video Killed the Radio Star, and this guy's in Yes. That
I
doesn't
have
make sense.
I have a hot take on that song. So the girls' vocals on that are pretty fun. They're pretty cute.
Yeah, yeah,
His vocals are okay. I feel like it's like like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and I
yeah.
never would have imagined. And for me, when I first heard the song, I like it. It's a catchy
Oh,
song,
yeah, it's classic.
very
Yeah.
apocalyptic in terms of what it was bringing to the table with where video will kill the radio
It
star.
predicted it's like
Like,
Nostradamus effect.
and then years later, Queen with their song Radio Gaga, an homage to the radio of their
Yeah.
past. But anyway, but um, his vocals were okay. Like I never would have thought that.
He's not a great
What do
vocalist.
you
No,
think
he's
on
no.
Drama? Was he good? I have to.
I thought he did a hell of a job on Trauma.
Okay.
I love it. I consider it a Yes album. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
because
like
on that on the video Kill the Radio song, he's like in my mind, like
yeah, it's a
and he has
cheesy.
this weird vocal effect, which I think makes sense for the '80s because I
Yeah,
feel like
it's almost like it's
I
not
will
even the
say he
80s.
did bring what year was it?
I think it's 78.
Oh, so like new wave then.
You could look that. Could you look that up? Because
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's 1978. Because that's an important fact.
Have you listened to any other thing by the Buggles or?
It's okay. It's boring.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, like I can see why they're a one-hit wonder. And that's on the girls' vocals are really good. More.
Yeah.
I don't know who's that
I
girl.
don't know who she
So
was.
the
No.
album it's after due 1980. It's called
Oh, it's 1980?
Yeah, man,
Oh,
and it's
wow.
called The Age of Plastic. And he's kind of like weird looking, so that's like a weird looking album
What
cover.
year was Drama? Was that 79 or 80?
Drama was I'll tell you right now. Yes, and I think that was 80 too. Drama was 1980.
Yeah,
Whoa.
so
So I
he's
have to
got it.
listen. But how's his vocals on Drama though? Are they like the
I
Buggles?
think they're good. They're good. He's like
So
I
so
said,
he
he's not John Anderson, but he's good. Imagine you have a hit song, "Video Killed the Radio Star," and you join the big kind of a cheesy cheeseball song, and then you join the biggest prog rock band in the world, who has one of the greatest singers in prog rock in the band, and he's replacing him. Wonder what people were thinking. That's like if Taylor Swift joined, I don't know, Rush. You know what I
Yeah,
mean, or something
yeah,
like that.
replace Geddy Lee as singer. Well,
You'd be
actually,
like,
kind of
what?
happened with Linkin Park. So that's why those lineup changes are like really like harsh on like the fans. It's like,
Yeah, to me, you don't change the singer. Like, I mean, Drama, they did it for one album, and that's fine. I get it. They did the one album, they tried it, it didn't work. But you don't change the
and
singer.
I have to listen to it. Drama. I'm gonna do a deep dive on Drama
Yeah,
just
I
to
love
hear it
Drama.
because I will say, like again, Video Killed the Radio Star. It's a great song, classic '80s, one hit
Yeah.
wonder. But his vocals are not like they're like
Eh, Yeah.
it's interesting, but it's the song is fun. The video is iconic,
Yeah.
and the song, yeah, 1980. So it was one of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Yeah, yeah.
Gonna bring down everybody, even like, influence yes.
But imagine what the video "Kill the Radio Star" did for Jeffrey Downs and Steve Howe. It, they were in Asia, so they
Yeah,
became
yeah, because
they
Asia a
actually.
couple years later, 1982.
Here's the ironic part: Jeffrey Downs and Steve Howe are the videos that killed the radio star.
Yeah, yeah. And remind me, Jeffrey Downs is in Asia, right?
Yeah, and he's also on drama.
Keyboard,
He was in Yes, yeah, for that
keyboard
one album.
player.
Yeah, yeah,
And he
great
has an
keyboard player.
iconic 80s keyboard sound now. I have to listen to him a little
Yeah,
bit more, but
yeah.
you remember one of the songs on the Asia album has
Yeah, yeah. Only time will tell. It's
it
beautiful.
sounds like Europe's it's the
Yeah,
final.
it
It's the
does.
iconic 80s
You can
keyboard.
hear it. I was
The
gonna say that.
iconic
Yeah,
80s sound. Like I'm not a music person, but
and
I'm
then
assuming there's programs so they would
no, they didn't have any program stuff yet. He's just using that. Like maybe it was a Prophet. There
okay.
were keyboards in the like Squeeze used the Prophet. The band
All right.
Squeeze. They
But
had
I'm saying I heard that keyboard sound a lot in the
yeah.
80s. It was
Yeah, I think that sound was. I think it was a Prophet
right.
keyboard. You
No
know,
more like Moog sounds anymore, or like
no, the
they're
move.
going away from that.
Oh, unless you're Rush, But
Well,
I don't
yeah,
think.
no, Rush is interesting. It's funny how with sorry, we got to make a rough.
Oh, oh,
You
sorry,
brought
Joe.
it up. You opened up the book,
I
but
know.
on moving pictures,
Yeah,
like you hear that, like I don't even know what sound that is.
yeah,
Wow, and like and then the instrumentation comes in, but
yeah.
they immediately hit you with the whatever Moog or I don't even know what keyboard sound that is
I know the Prophet was the big keyboard, and I
in the
was blessed.
80s.
Yeah, I was blessed to use it on the Visions CD. I played keyboards on that album. And in the studio they had a Prophet, and I'm like,
Hmm.
"Holy shit, you got a Prophet!" I said, I gotta play, I gotta fucking play
Wait,
this."
now Cheech, as a musician, I have a question.
Yes,
This appeared. So, why would you use a keyboard like synthesizer versus a piano? Like, we,
texture,
you being a
texture.
musician, like, right? 'Cause
If you're, I don't know, Queen is coming to mind. Like where you'd hear like, then they use a piano.
din 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 ding ding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So on like a song like that is a synthesizer wouldn't work.
right.
What song is that again? Mama, that part like
Bohemian
Rhapsody.
Rhapsody. Yeah.
So a synth wouldn't work there. Beth by Kiss, Home Sweet Home, synthesizer wouldn't work there.
Hmm.
If Geddy Lee used a grand piano on Tom Sawyer, it would sound stupid. So,
Right.
so,
I mean,
so
it would sound kind of cool though if someone did an album like cover.
no, no, I'm saying that.
Oh
It,
yeah,
it, it would sound like a
yeah.
because a keyboard, a piano is like when I think of piano, I think of Rachmaninoff, and it's that real beautiful that tone. Elton John, Benny and the Gents.
Yeah,
That's
Elton
what's
John. Oh, you know what's funny?
yeah,
I've been on an Elton John like I was listening to this album Don't Shoot, Only the Piano Player,
yeah.
and he was a master of recording the piano, which
Okay, what a sound he got.
what a sound. Yeah. And I love what you said there, texture. And I feel
Yeah.
like at that point the
And
synthesizer
just to
allowed
shout out to Elton John's bass player, D. Murray. If you're a bass player and you want to learn about high notes, playing high on the bass, D. Murray's a master on Rocket Man. When you get a chance, man, you listen to Rocket Man.
I'll watch out for the bass player. I love that song.
And the high bass notes, I stole so much. Oh my
Well,
God.
speaking of bass on that same album, Honky Cat, one of my
Oh
favorite
God.
parts is the bass. Like
He's incredible. D.
I talk about the
Murray,
piano. Ding,
yeah,
ding, 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 ding. Like it's
yeah,
yeah, Elton John was you know who else was a master of that, but then started experimenting. I love what you said, textures. That makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Paul McCartney.
McCartney, yeah.
Maybe I'm amazed. Din,
Oh,
din. And
I
then in
love
the 80s, and McCartney too, he started experimenting with the synthesizer and those
maybe,
piano,
yeah.
those keys, keyboards, keys,
Well, you call them synths, and you can
synths.
call them keys. Synths in the
And
'80s.
Moog is the same thing too, right? Like the Moog.
A Moog is a synthesizer, yeah, definitely. But the best run in Baby I'm Amazed is that chromatic thing where it's like
Oh,
and it goes up. Oh,
dude,
I love that. I love that.
dude,
It's
so
gorgeous.
good, and he's playing that. Paul McCartney's the next level genius.
And we can't forget the one of the greatest, Billy the Kid, Billy Joel. Oh my
Oh,
God.
well, another one. He
Oh
took.
God.
It's funny how he gets pissed. You know, it's funny. I saw actually another Adam. You've seen it. There's an excellent, very long, very good documentary on Billy Joel on HBO Max. It's really
Yeah,
great.
I saw it. Yeah.
But it's funny. One of the things I think you shared it with me. Gets mad that he was getting compared to Elton John
Yeah.
and makes fun of him. You know, he's more like, like I'm more like
Well, he
but
explains it.
the
He
classical
does a
piano
he
component,
does like a
which by the way, he would
tutorial.
have fit in prog rock with
Oh
those
well,
chops.
I think there's an album he did before he was famous that was like a hard rock prog album if you could find it.
Right.
Well, he was experimenting, before he
Right.
became the
And it's funny, I
genius.
saw something about that. I heard it's terrible, but he
It is
tried.
here, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
he,
But you're right. Yeah, yeah. But my point is that with his classically trained chops, instead he focused on songwriting and obviously became
oh yeah,
really.
yeah,
Elton John is texture. He's all about.
yeah,
I feel like he's texture and
uh-huh.
he's able to get sounds out of the piano like Jimi Hendrix or something like. Or
It,
you know what he is? He's tapping his inner who's that? Jerry Lee Lewis,
oh God,
right?
yeah,
Great
he's
Balls
one
of
of the
Fire,
greatest.
which
He's the master. And then like I'm gonna show my cheesy side and my disco side. ABBA on Dancing Queen, that
dude, you just
piano.
lost all respect from like the heavy metal. No, I'm
But
kidding. No,
but
Ava. Oh
do
my
you know
goodness,
that piano sound I'm talking about
dude.
on
Wait, first of
Dancing
all,
Queen?
that din din
It's
din like
so
dude.
clear. I
Dude,
mean, I'm not
is that even
comparing
a
it.
piano? Like, I don't even
It's
believe it's a
piano.
piano.
I've heard
No.
Rachmaninoff
And have you heard the
being,
bass on that song?
oh yeah, genius, genius.
Oh gosh, I'll be honest
Because
with you, ABBA, why? I don't understand why they get hate because,
genius. There were
dude,
the girl was so hot. I was in
oh,
love
girls
with
are
her as a
stunningly
kid.
gorgeous, and
And
their harmony, dude. If I could have them
harmony.
sing to me every night,
Oh God, I'd
yo,
be a happy man. But there's something about that crisp recording on
yeah,
Dancing
yeah,
Queen. Now, the people are gonna think I'm nuts, but when you hear Rachmaninoff recorded, you know, it has the same crisp
yeah,
piano sound. You have to, and
yeah.
it
And
doesn't
no,
sound like
a-
Rachmaninoff,
and
but
it's weird because it's so crisp, but I don't believe it's a piano. Because mostly when
yeah,
I'm not a musical expert, but when I hear piano recorded, it sounds kind of weak. Like I feel like
yeah,
you have to know how to do it.
yeah.
But yeah, dude, those yeah,
Well, you'd have to
ABBA
know how to mic a piano. Yeah, I wouldn't even know. I mean, you got to go where the strings are. If you open up an
ver-
upright piano, you have to.
versus keys, you can just like because those sounds are like kind of like electronic. They're already you can get
Yeah,
them.
you
You
plug
know,
that into an amplifier.
right, right,
So a
easy.
good engineer has to know how to mic a piano. I mean,
Right.
they're going inside the upright piano
Ma-
when they're doing that.
in today's music, maybe it's easy with everything being on computers
Oh,
and
well,
every.
then there's keyboards now that even then in the 70s that had
Mm,
the piano sound. Like Mike McDonald, you would hear him play,
mm,
and he's playing a piano, but it's on a keyboard. Then there's electric piano. That's a different sound.
mhm.
That electric piano
Now,
sound.
correct me if I'm wrong or right. Elton John on stage would actually play an actual piano. Am I wrong or right?
Yeah,
Billy
yeah, he
Joel,
plays piano.
right?
He
It's
played piano.
interesting. Why not the electric piano, right? Maybe
I
because
don't think he played keyboards, Elton John.
I
I
don't
think he
think
played a
so.
piano.
Wonder why, right?
Yeah, Billy Joel too,
He
right?
would actually bring a whole big ass. Why not
Yeah,
just pull out an electric piano, right?
yeah. Billy Joel played piano. I don't think he
Is it
played.
because of aesthetic reasons
I
or
think it's just that sound that they wanted. It's a better sound than
yeah,
a electric piano,
yeah.
Or then there's a Fender Rhodes. The Fender
Right.
Rhodes, I believe,
Fender
is
Rhodes is
electric. Yeah,
famous, right? I think
that's
that's one of the most
electric piano.
famous. I know Fender Rhodes because Springsteen talked about it on Born
Yeah,
to
it's an
Run. You hear it,
electric
yeah.
electric kind of sound. But I played the Prophet, and that's the same one Squeeze used, and I believe they used it in Asia,
Mhm.
because like when I was playing it, I'm like, this sounds like Asia, ba-na-na-na, that kind
Oh,
of
there we
thing.
go. There we go.
So, and it was a real Prophet. See, back in the 90s, they still had these things laying around in the studios, and I remember saying to the engineer, he's like, "Oh, that thing, take the dust off of that. Nobody wants to play that." I'm like, "Dude, I will buy this fucking thing from you." You know what I mean? Like
You could have it, mate.
yeah, exactly. So nobody was playing Prophets or anything like that back then. Yeah, but that, I played. I was glad to play on a Prophet. I always wanted Moog Taurus pedals.
Mm.
Almost bought them, but they are heavy as fuck.
And
They're
that
like,
it changes the sounds, the moog pedals of your instrument, right?
no, the Moog is, when you listen to Free Will, when Geddy's hitting those notes that are just kind of lingering out when he's playing, boo, doo, 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 or Spirit of the Radio, he's changing.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay.
basically a keyboard foot pedal, but you get one note, and
I
it's
didn't
no
know
matter.
that. Oh,
Yeah, it's a
that's the
keyboard.
moog pedals.
Yeah, the Moog pedals are just are
So my
foot.
boy Getty is playing three instruments, bass,
Yeah.
keys, and moog pedals.
Yeah, so he's only playing Moog pedals because he can't play keyboards at the same time. Now he could. Now he could play bass, and then there's a
This
keyboard player
dude
that's
is
coming in.
instrumental tour de force, man.
Yeah, but now they're bringing in a keyboard player, which I'm totally against. We won't go there. The more I think about it, the more I start going, oh no, no, no. Anyway, but yeah, Getty had the Moog pedals. Chris Squire had some form of pedals, bass pedals. I don't even know.
Interesting.
So pedals
Um,
were a big thing back then. But I had the opportunity to buy Moog pedals. They were modern Moog pedals. I didn't want them, but they're heavy. They're like 200 pounds to lift those fucking things. They look.
that's crazy. Wait, hold on. Hey, Mr. Black, what's the good news?
Mr. Black, the man who writes the show for us, he's getting antsy. Oh, okay, don't get mad. That's Mr. Black. All right, Mr. Black, I'll set you free. The man who writes all the shows for the Cheech and Manny show, Mr. Black.
Surprise
All
guest
right.
appearance, Mr. Black. Okay. All right, Chief. So yeah, so did we jump to any of these bands, by the way, or did we just go on a complete tangent?
We went on a tangent about keyboards. We went on a tangent about Prophet keyboards. But
Made Silky
yeah,
Joe
so
upset. We mentioned Rush.
yeah, but I think these are the super groups. There were super groups before them. We're going to talk about the four main prog ones.
Hmm.
Notes are a little scrambled because I added in. You made me think about ELP, and of course, I thought about Crimson. So we'll talk about let's talk about Crimson, but we got to go before Red. So what do I have? I have Lark's Tongue and Aspect. Okay, 1973. David Cross on violin, Fripp Wetton and Bruford,
Hmm.
and James Mune on percussion. Book of Saturday is a great song, Easy Money and Exiles. So the key is the supergroup is there already. Fripp, Wetton, and Bruford. The other two guys are amazing, but that's the supergroup. So that's 19, what did I say? 74. Okay. Then Starless and Bible Black. Have you ever heard this album?
No,
Oh
I'm
my
looking
God.
Starless and Bible Black.
1974. Same lineup. Fripp Bruford, John Wetton, and David Cross violin and Mellotron. Um, and
No, and also, Cheech, like just to make sure, looking at my discography notes here. So after In the Court of the Crimson King, there's an album called The Wake of Poseidon.
yeah, that's Greg Lake is on that.
Oh, and it says departure of three founding members.
Yep. I think Giles left, Greg Lake left, and I think McDonald might have left.
Is the album good? I have to listen. What about
Really
Lizard?
good. It's Lizard is I think Boz Burrell is on that album from Bad Company. That's
Hmm.
okay. And then it leads up to Larks.
So Larks is where things are like yes, and then
Yeah,
Starless and Bible, and then Red, and then also, and you'll talk Discipline. I love that album. I'm just
that is a good album. Yeah. Starless Bible Black, some tracks on there, The Great Deceiver, Lament, Will Let You Know is a great instrumental. The
it.
Mincer.
It says here, interweaving studio and live recording. Starless and Bible Black is King Crimson's most spontaneous yet ferociously commanding work. And
Yeah.
so the musical plan must be straight off the charts.
It's amazing,
Math rock too. It's a math rock prototype, it says here.
Well, I believe it. They are the prototypes to math rock.
Like the
Yeah.
band Tool later on the 90s would be like math rock
Yeah.
progressive. They actually took heavy metal progressive too, right?
But if you ever heard a real rock math rock band, it's like Gentle Giant, but like modernized. That's a whole nother thing I forgot to even bring up. I'm not a fan of it though. It's unorganized.
Which one?
Math rock.
Right, right. Yeah, I
Like
agree.
the genre is just
I agree. I agree. It's
it's not
definitely
even
like
musical,
I
you
feel
know.
like Prog is already like math enough. Like go,
Yeah, I give them props for odd meter and stuff, but it's you got to have, songs. Oh, I'm sorry. The album before Starless Black Bible is Islands, and that has Boz Burrell on it. That's a
it
weird
it
album.
wasn't
But
Larks? No, no, Islands was 1971.
yeah, 1971 was
And
before.
then Larks, Tongue and Aspic is
Oh yeah, that's
1973.
what I meant. Yeah, yeah, Larks
Yeah.
before Larks, and Starless Bible Black. I totally recommend, and it has uh, the trilogy of Bruford, Wetton, and Fripp on it, and David Cross on violin. So he leaves, and then of course you have
Then you
I
have then you
yeah
have Rush.
yes, then you have Red. It's a trio. They're
Yeah,
they're
and
they're
let me tell you, Red is where things, dude. Now I have a question for you, Cheech,
yeah.
and you answered it already. Now, and I want our viewers, if you're loving our content, comment below. Answer my question: Red or In the Court of the Crimson King? Which one and why? Which is the greatest?
Red,
Why?
heavier,
But
heavier.
wait, but wait, 21st Century Schizo Man is pretty
I
heavy.
know, I know.
I
I
will say Red sounds timeless, and I'm not saying that Court of the Crimson King is not timeless.
yeah,
That's timeless.
I have a deeper
Red
connection with
sounds
Red.
Red sounds like it was recorded like now. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
so good. It pretty much was the trio. They invented Rush heavy metal before
yeah.
it was a thing.
Hmm.
And the
Yep.
fact that three dudes are making this sound is
Yeah.
insane.
And
And
it
Starless, dude, Starless
oh
alone, I think I mean, King Crimson are so good with conclusions, but
oh man,
Starless, man, I'll be
Fallen
honest with you,
Angel.
I don't recommend Starless because it's gonna change your brain chemistry. I
Yeah,
mean,
the song Red itself, Fallen
oh,
Angel.
dude, the rift.
It's
No,
amazing.
I'll be honest with you, I've been addicted to this album. Every song is a masterpiece. The album cover's iconic.
Yeah.
You see
Oh
the three of
yeah.
them, like,
Yeah. It's cheesy, but it's iconic,
you know,
But
what's funny? I don't think it's cheesy.
it's not cheesy. It's not
They
cheesy. It's not cheesy
and,
like a lot
and
of
the
other
only
albums.
one that gets
It's
some warmth is Wetton. You know what's funny? As a side note, John Wetton. Before I
yeah.
knew who he was,
Hmm.
just based on Asia, obviously,
Yeah.
and his vocals, I always feel like he's a dude that's always like happy, smiling.
Hmm.
And on that album cover, he's like smiling. And I love it because like I always pictured him like he would um like him just being like very sunny, like very like a big man. I'll give you a hug.
Um,
Am I wrong or right? Is he like that or am
I
I
don't know much about him, but I just know he had a severe alcohol problem. Don't ask me. Don't
really?
ask check me on this, but I think he
Maybe
did
for our
have.
viewers out there, comment below if you know anything
I
on John
I think
Wetton.
I think he struggled with alcohol addiction. But don't fact check me on that. I'm pretty sure I read that, but it didn't really affect him. I could be mixing him up with James Drewer because I know James Drewer from Ramen Trower had a huge alcohol problem, but I think Wetton had one too. Um, but I mean, it is a it's a cool cover, and John Wetton looks a bit sinister on it.
Well, no, what I was gonna say, it's funny. So, first of all, the black and the red and the King Crimson logo is really cool.
Yeah,
I love the font. But it's funny. So John Wetton and Fripp look menacing. Like
yeah, yeah.
I mean, they look like they're about to cast some like dark
I know,
magic
I
on you.
know, I
And
know.
then you
They
have
are.
John Wetton just smiling, kind of giving a little wink. Like
Yeah,
I love it. And it's funny
it
because
is a
John
great
Wetton,
album.
I always figured John Wetton to be sort of like like a like a I don't know how to describe him, like a Santa Claus character, big guy.
He's a very proper Englishman. If you see him in interviews, kind of like Mike Rutherford,
Oh, I see, I never
like
knew
yeah,
that.
no, he's very very proper English. Educated, well educated man. Played. He's a guy who never made it in one band. He's
It's
a guy.
interesting. Yeah, he jumped
Yeah,
around.
he was in. I believe he was in Roxy Music. I know he was in Uriah Heep.
And you know what's funny? I know now Asian. We'll talk about him in a real quick, Asia, but just a quick question because it's appearing. Actually, I'll save it for that. But yeah, but Red, dude, every track is killer, no filler.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the most challenging track is Providence.
Yeah, and
Very avant,
the bass tone on that, oh my
but it's
God, it's
challenging. It's very
yeah,
avant-garde, but phenomenal. I mean, it gives you. I feel like this is one of the. Oh yeah, I love this. The more I realize how much I love this album, it's like.
yeah,
And the Court of the Crimson King is also amazing. I feel like in the Court of the Crimson King is like the Old Testament and like Red is New Testament, where
yeah, I agree.
they're firing all on cylinders. Also, there's a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, like because they were already deep in their career, and and it's sad because according to this, it's the last album before 1981. They go on some hiatus.
Well, yeah, Fripp wanted to be a priest. He stopped playing. I think he stopped. I don't think Fripp did anything after Red. He decided to disband the group. And then that's out of that became UK about 3 years later with Bruford and Wetton.
Oh, so after this, UK, right?
That was 78 though. So, but in between that, John Wetton bounced around with Wishbone Ash and Uriah Heep. I even think he did a solo album before Asia. So he was around. He bounced around. This guy was like in a lot of bands, he was always he was always a singer and bass player.
Hmm.
Needs to be more known as a bass player like Greg Lake
Yeah,
because
because no, dude, and again, going back to before now obviously I know this, but I didn't know
yeah,
he was a bass player.
great bass player.
I always pictured him with those great vocals.
And you can hear it on the song Red. You can hear his bass
Mhm.
line on Red. Oh, holy
Great
shit.
tone. His
He
tone is
yeah,
very unique.
he hits those high notes on Red that are super. He goes up to the 19th fret and he bends them. Nobody could bend a high note like John Wetton on the bass. He's incredible. A lot like Greg Lake. They're similar. They sound completely
I
different,
was gonna say very different.
they're similar.
Similar is there. Like you hear
Yeah.
it on the track in Emerson Lake and Palmer's debut, The Barbarian. You can kind of hear
Yeah.
Greg Lake's. They kind of have and on Red, you hear it.
You hear that
That
similarity. Yeah.
influence. Yeah.
Vocally, two different beasts. Vocally,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But your question, I got to go with Red. It's a personal thing. I love Red from when I bought the album in high school.
How old were you?
Oh, when I got Red, I was probably 15.
Wait, so you dropped a vinyl, right? Long
Yeah.
play? You
hmm
dropped the needle. What was your experience?
It was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I had no, I was scared. I was
Wait,
some, I
wait,
was,
pause. Go back. So you pick up the vinyl. You look
yeah,
at the album cover.
yeah.
What were you reacting like?
Well, I was in the Crimson because I always loved the 21st Century
And
Schizoid
you knew
band.
what they look like.
Not really. I didn't know what they looked
So
like.
this album cover was like,
Yeah,
wait a minute.
yeah.
Like, who are these guys?
I was like just getting into Prog as a musician. I was into Prog as a kid, but I didn't like I loved Yes on the radio and I loved ELP as a kid, but didn't know what it was. To me, ELP reminded me of going to the circus when I heard it. That's
Dude, that's actually such a good point. You know what? I had that same idea. I was listening to in preparation for the Gospel ELP episode. I was like, yo, why do I feel like I'm in some carnival or something?
I had my parents got this house in 1973 and my cousin lives here and he had older I had like three older cousins that were teenagers in the 70s and they left a lot of albums around. And Emerson Lake and Palmer was left around, Humble Pie was left around. So that's how I kind of got into this stuff. I was like,
Fascinating.
what is this? I was like an archaeologist. And I remember listening to Emerson Lake and Palmer's, was it Trilogy? Did that come out or no? Maybe it was what's the second one? Brain Salad Surgery, I think. Yeah, it was Brain
I think
Salad
so.
Surgery, I think. And I was like, this sounds like
Not
this.
Tarkus, right?
No, it had to be before 73.
Okay. Maybe it
So
was Trilogy because that was
yeah, it was with them on the cover, I think.
Trilogy, my dad's favorite
Yeah.
album. That he
So
I learned ELP from word of mouth from him singing from the beginning.
so me being a 3-year-old, 4-year-old kid, I didn't know shit about music. I didn't know what a keyboard was, a bass. I didn't know prog rock from the circus. My favorite song was Candyman by Sammy Davis Jr. So I like to put it
Wait, is that the
on.
one, the Candyman can?
Exactly. So I would put it on and like annoy my parents. 'Cause they're like, what is this shit you're listening to?
Yeah, yeah, it's yeah, it's fun.
Like
It'll be great to get like reactions from people who've never heard this music. They're gonna be like, "What the hell are you listening
it
to?"
reminded me we used to go to the Hannaford Circus, when I was a kid at the county center, and it reminded me of that. And I was just because it was
Dude,
an organ.
that's what it reminded me of too. Especially
Yeah,
those keys, and I'm like, why does this sound like a carnival? Like,
yeah. And then growing up, I always listened to Yes on the radio. I didn't know who it was, but I remember liking Long Distance Run Around. Then as I got older, that's my uncle and stuff. He's like, yeah, that's Yes. That's like really technical rock, like Frank Zappa. So as I developed, I met this kid, Scott Harper. That was the pivotal move for music for me in sixth grade, fifth grade. His brother's room was the library of rock. I
and,
learned everything. The kid he was in college, so we would go in his room. He was never home, and
mm,
just listen to Yes, ELP, the Allman Brothers, Deep Purple, Vanilla Fudge, a lot of Grateful Dead, and then we would, a lot of Zeppelin. That's how I
mm,
discovered physical graffiti. So then I got into Prague, and then as I was getting into bass, my bass teacher was like, "Hey, you like Chris Squire? Why don't you check out King Crimson?" I'm like, "All right." And that was like the first album. I knew 21st Century Schizoid Man, but then I picked up Red, and then I put it down. I think I listened to it for about a month, but I couldn't handle it
that's
when
too
when
much.
I first
How
got
old
it.
were you?
14.
Nah, there's no
Because
way.
I'd rather hear and when I was 14, I think Peace of Mind had just come out, or Power Slave, and I'd rather hear that.
Of course.
So I was listening more to Maiden, but I do remember listening to the bass on Providence and trying to learn it. And then I revisited it many years
And
later and was
that's when
like,
it unlocks. I feel like
yeah,
that
yeah,
album, you need to listen to it. Like, give it a first listen, wait
yeah,
years, get in
yeah.
your 30s, and then listen, or late 20s, and then
Yeah, but
once.
21st Century Schizoid Man, I had it on a tape. Someone made a tape of all Prague stuff for me. And that was one of the songs on there. I don't even know the rest of the songs on there. It was like Uriah Heep and stuff like that.
Mm, hmm
And then I just remember 21st Century Schizoid Man. So that goes back to me, like when I was 12 or 13
mm,
and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my Red story. I go way, way back with Red.
mm.
So it's deeper than
Fro-
Court of the Crimson King.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. That's my story on that. But
awesome,
yeah,
man.
I would recommend on Red, Fallen Angel, Providence, one more Red Nightmare.
The whole album,
Exactly.
all killer, no filler. You
It's
cannot. I'll be honest with you, Red and Starless, listen to that if you're streaming, but otherwise, listen to the whole album.
it's the greatest. It's the greatest King Crimson album. Don't hate us.
It's peak.
Crimson fans that might disagree. I don't know. And it's a trio.
Yeah.
It's a trio, and it's underrated. I don't think people talk about that album enough. You know?
Only the ones that know music will mention, especially
Yeah.
Starless, how
Yeah.
it's a it's a mind-changing, mind-bending song.
And I do recommend Starless Black Bible too.
Hmm
Go back and check that album out as well. Like I said, Lament is a great song on that. And then there's a great instrumental called We'll Let You Know. You know, that was 1974. Lark's Tongue and Aspect. It's good. I didn't love it. I don't love it, but it's Crimson. It's a good
hmm
album. So I recommend that. So King Crimson is the first supergroup to come out. Now the next one, any more on
Nah,
Crimson?
let's move on just for time's sake. We don't want this like 3 hour episode.
we don't have to get into ELP too much because
No,
we
we
just
did
did,
a
yeah,
watch.
we did it.
I'll link our I'm gonna down in the description. I'm gonna link the Holy Gospel episode, so
Yeah.
if you want like review that and
Yeah,
more ELP.
ELP, just 2 seconds on ELP. They're a super group because they came from the nice King Crimson, Atomic Rooster, and the world, the Arthur Brown. That's who Palmer played with. Um, just an amazing Keith Emerson. You need to say no more. Greg Lake, phenomenal. Carl Palmer, one of the greatest rock drummers. And their first album, phenomenal.
Hmm.
That's what, Three Fates. It's all you can say.
Mm.
All you need to say is first album, Three Fates. That's
Honestly,
super group. That spells super group.
honestly, just that debut alone will secure their spot.
Yeah.
But they go on to make all their albums are I don't even know which their debut is honestly insane. Tarkus, Brain Salad Surgery, Works Volume 1, Pictures at an Exhibition, great live album. Maybe one of the greatest. And then Trilogy.
Yep.
Yeah, these guys, but I will say, if they just did the debut, that would have secured their spot. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the three fates, we're talking about Greek mythology here.
Yeah.
Lucky Man is a insane song.
Yeah.
The Barbarian, already the template for like,
Heavy metal.
heavy metal, heavy.
I
Take a
think it's
Pebble.
21st century Schizoid Man Part Two. The way instrumentally, the
Yeah,
Barbarian.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Take a Pebble, Knife Edge, Tank, all killer, no filler.
Yeah.
Just that album alone, but nope. They have to continue with Tarkus. They have to
Done.
continue with brain salad surgery. Like these guys are. And again, I guess we won't go too much with them unless you have
Yeah,
more
you
last
get
minute
it.
things.
You
But
get
I'll.
into Works. That they did two sets of the album Works, I believe, which is phenomenal.
Mhm,
Blending classical, jazz, and prog. All in there, and the
mhm.
classical structures, literally classical. Bela Bartok, Bach, Rockified.
Yeah,
Some of the greatest music ever made in prog rock. So they are the second uh super group. And check the Nice out. The Nice
you mentioned that. Yeah,
America and Azrael. Two great songs.
and the nice was Greg Lake's group, right?
No, no,
Before
no. Keith Emerson's first
Keith
group.
Emerson. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Keith
yeah,
Emerson.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
They have a good album that I heard about, Five Bridges.
He only did three albums. By 70, they were done. The night. I don't
19
know. They might have kept going with. I don't know if you can keep going without Greg Lake, but I don't think they tried.
Oh, all right.
You know.
Oh, you know what's funny? I think they have an album called Elegy, and I think the people that made that album cover, I think was Hypnosis.
Probably because they were in that
Pink
era.
Floyd, yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
could
were
be wrong
definitely.
though. Yeah, but yeah, yeah, yep. So yeah, check out. I gotta check out the Nice myself.
Yeah, they're
Um,
really good.
oh, actually, that has a song America
Yeah, America's a great song.
on that, and then yeah, Hypnosis made the album cover. So yeah, listen
Yeah,
to the
in
Nice.
America, we said is from the play. What's his name? Oh God, help me, Manny. My brain is shutting down. From
And
the
it's actually
West Side Story.
yes, and this album Elegy, last one to feature Emerson because then he's gonna go on to ELP. So
Yeah, and then Rondo, which is a Dave Brubeck cover.
hmm
So Emerson was doing all this genius stuff. He was plotting. He knew what he wanted. He just needed those two other guys that were on his level. Because
hmm
the other guys in the Nice, no disrespect, they weren't on the level as Greg Lake and Carl Palmer.
hmm
So, but yeah. So that would be number two.
Next one.
The next super group I have is UK.
Hmm.
Not a lot of people know about UK.
No, they're and I think they had one hit. Was it a hit? Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
Dead of Night.
Dead of Night, which
Yeah,
actually is pretty catchy, even
yeah,
without
and you can kind of hear where Asia, where
Where, yeah, no, it's funny. It's like a more jazzier version of Asia, like
Yeah.
with a dash of funk, a dash in there, obviously
Oh,
progressive.
the bass line. I don't know how he sings and plays that song. The bass line is so syncopated and fast.
Hmm.
It's John Wetton, Bill Bruford, Eddie Jobson, and the great Alan Holdsworth. So Alan Holdsworth, those of you who don't know Alan Holdsworth, he goes back to the Canterbury scene. You know,
Mm.
so he's a master guitar player, one of the greatest in the rock fusion, like a Jeff Beck kind of guy, but very different. So that was a super group that they put together in '78. They might have did a second album, but John Wetton wasn't on it, so I wasn't into it. They did a live album, I believe, I think. It's prog rock and jazz fusion. A couple good songs on there. It's 30 Years, Time to Kill, and the single Dead of Night.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah, just the fact that, Bruford and Wetton um are together again with Alan Holdsworth. So there's like a trio right there. Now, picture this. They go from think of all the great guitar players that these guys played with. Bill Bruford, Steve Howe, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
and and then Alan Holdsworth was a guitar player in UK,
yeah,
and he's a British jazz rock guitarist. He's also a violinist and composer. Oh my goodness, this guy,
he's a
these
genius.
guys, these
Yeah,
guys are just like musical. It says here that he used myriad scale forms. I thought you would know this. Myriad scale forms often derived from those such as the Lydian, diminished harmonic major, augmented whole tone, chromatic, altered scales. Right. So this dude is.
yeah, he was doing all the crazy shit, all that, almost, you know, um, that sound dissonance, the dissonant sound,
And
the
he was a
stuff that
guitarist.
Stravinsky would be
Right.
using, stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, he's a master. Um, and then the beautiful voice of Wetton.
Hmm.
Don't know much about Eddie Jobson, but he played keys. And he was pretty simple. I don't think he went nuts. I think he was more like
Yeah, no, no. He served this like he wasn't like he didn't go Emerson on that.
he's like a Jeffrey Downs from Asia, and has that late '70s sound. I think they opened up for a lot of people. They never really. I don't know how big they got. I don't know a lot about their success. I just know it was a one-off.
Yeah.
Bill Bruford.
I
He
think
had
they
a
did one more album, but sadly they didn't do that well. And
Well, I don't think
UK's
it was that lineup though. I think
no, no, they changed again. Actually, they
yeah,
did another album with a trio, but I'm not sure if it's good. It's
it's
called
not what
Danger.
it's definitely not with John Wetton. I
No, I
know.
think it is.
Is it with John Wetton the
Yeah.
second album?
1979, Danger Money.
Who's on? Who is Bruford left?
I would have to check, but let me see.
Because I know I didn't like buy that album. I didn't like that one for some
Hmm.
reason.
So Eddie Jobson still there, keyboard, John Wetton, and this time this guy named Terry Bozzio on drums.
Oh wow, Terry Bozzio. Yeah, he played with Frank Zappa.
Hmm. Oh, there we go.
And
Oh,
and,
so
do you know what his claim to fame is? What made him really successful and a lot of money?
go.
The band from the '80s, Missing Persons. You know the band Missing Persons?
No.
They were a pop band with a gorgeous singer called Dale Bozio, his wife, who Lady Gaga completely stole her fucking image from.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were a pop, amazing new wave pop group, and he was the drummer on that band.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Yes.
I gotta revisit that
Yeah, we
album.
revisit that, but just anyway, so UK on that debut supergroup album,
Hmm.
it's fantastic. It's also probably considered one of the greatest prog rock albums as well. So we're talking about 1978. Now, this is way past now.
Yeah,
We're in the middle of punk. I mean, I could see why
yeah,
it didn't do as it did pretty well, like moderate success.
yeah.
But 1978, I mean, big changes are coming. So this is like on the cusp.
Yeah, we're in the beginning of punk, disco, and arena rock blowing up. So it's not really.
And,
Re
and, you know, it's funny as an aside, I'm reading here. So Bruford and Wetton approached Robert Fripp to reform King Crimson.
oh
But
wow.
Fripp said no, declined. Bruford and Wetton decided that each would choose a musician in order to form a new band. So because of the Fripp's, declining to form Crimson, which, come on, Fripp.
And
Imagine if you did one more album, like,
another red.
but that's why Fripp is a genius. He's an artist. He doesn't do it for the
Yeah.
money, you know.
And he likes to play with different people. He's always,
A- And then this is fat. You'll like this. The band's formation, UK, also coincided with the Yamaha CS80 synthesizer, and this became part of. And obviously, the that what's his name is going to be playing that instrument.
yeah,
Um,
Eddie Jobson, yeah.
yep, yep. So yeah, so it's really good. It's fantastic. Very, very like interesting
Just
sound.
I didn't do enough research on Jobson. Just a quick shout out. Who did he play with? Uh,
So let me go back. So Jobson, uh, personnel. Yeah. So we're talking about the
the keyboards.
Eddie Jobson. So he part of Frank Zappa. So he has an impressive resume, curriculum vitae. Curved Air, Roxy Music, Jethro Tull, part of Frank Zappa's band, violinist also. Yeah, he also played in Yes event after.
Yeah.
So he's definitely another one that has been in a lot of
Yeah,
things.
yeah. He's a beast.
And he's playing keyboards, backing vocals, and violin.
Yeah.
So, and then
So
Terry Bozzio, which you said, we got here Missing Persons UK and Frank Zappa as well. So famous
yeah.
also
Oh yeah,
in
he's
his
no
circuit.
joke. He's like the fusion drummer. When and he took the money with Missing Persons. Like a lot of people were like, "Wow, it would be like if Neil Peart played, backing up Madonna, something,
Hmm.
something like that." But Missing Persons was like I mean a brilliant pop band,
You know
early
what's funny?
'80s.
I had to listen to them.
Oh yeah,
Honestly, their hit words.
words. What are words for? Oh my God! And I had the biggest crush on the singer. She was so freaking hot, Dale Bozio. She was ahead of her time. She had like blonde long hair, but she would like dye it different colors, and
Hmm.
she was
I
just
see.
beautiful, gorgeous blonde with a
Interesting. So
great voice.
it's just fascinating. A lot of these guys so musically talented, and then pop music probably came easy for them. Like it makes sense.
It was a paycheck. He probably
Dude,
made
with the
more
skills they
money.
have, it makes sense.
He made more
Yeah,
money with Missing
yeah,
Person than he did with Zappa,
yeah,
or UK,
yeah,
on two albums probably.
yeah. But UK, recommend.
Yeah, I
Listen to him.
recommend the
Excellent.
first UK. Check out the second one if you want.
I
You
haven't
know,
checked it out, so I would have to listen to it. But
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it that much
Mhm.
because like I was for some reason I think I did get it and I just wasn't into it. I wasn't into it. Which John Wetton was plotting and pleading with bands and getting turned down by Wishbone Ash. Then finally, um, he meets Steve Howe, and Steve Howe is like
who's Steve Howe? He sounds like a nobody.
Steve Howe's this weird guy from this English group. I don't know some. I think
Yeah,
they're called No.
yeah. What? No,
Yeah,
not
no.
yes, yes, no.
Yeah. So the story goes, he met him, he knew him, probably knew each other, and they talked about forming a band. And Steve Howe said, "I just got off tour with Yes, and I have
Hmm.
Jeffrey Downs I'm working
Hmm.
with. You want to jam with us?" And I said, "Yeah." So the trio jammed without a drummer, and they wrote most of this stuff. And then they said, "Who could we get for a drummer?"
Mm.
And ironically, Carl Palmer was doing nothing. He didn't have a band. He was in between bands because Emerson, Lake and Palmer was done. So he said, I'll come down and jam." And it was magic. And boom, they defined early '80s rock, in my
Hmm.
opinion. Asia.
They probably have one of the most well-known, like even our viewers out there, you'll know the song "In the Heat of the Moment."
Oh yeah,
I,
yeah.
I feel like that song is so iconic.
It's so catchy and radio friendly. You could say arena rock if you want. It fits in.
Yeah, but it's like above arena rock because these dudes
Yeah.
actually were like insane
And
musicians.
there's so much progginess in it. It's like Rush. There's amazing. Heat of
Yep.
the Moment has an insane guitar solo,
And the
melodic.
drum fills too.
The drum, the snare hits at the end, the bass line in the middle section. You know, um, So you have John Wetton, Steve Howe, Jeffrey Downs, Carl Palmer. Uh, and Jeffrey Downs came from the Buggles, and he played on Drama, Yes album. Um, they made pop friendly songs loaded with prog elements and musicianship. Just to name a few: Heat of the Moment, Only Time Will Tell, Soul Survivor. Now, not only was it the perfect storm for this band, because MTV is out.
Hmm.
1980, they formed in 82, and MTV comes out. So they're like, let's make a video. Let's do a single. Boom. They do that cheesy kind of video with the
Yeah.
square,
Yeah.
and it blew up. And believe me, I was that and Pyromania were in heavy rotation on MTV, and it's all I watched. It's all I waited for. I don't even think we had VCRs yet. We couldn't tape anything, so we had to just
Mm.
wait, me and my sister, and watch the videos. I bought the album, wore it out, and it just was phenomenal. And it blew up, and unfortunately, you're only they're only good for one album. The second album is okay.
I think with each album they just start going down, and
Yeah,
also they fired. I think John Wetton. He eventually he's not.
I think that's where
Yeah,
the substance abuse came in
it makes
on Asia.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think sadly John Wetton did anything successful after Asia. Okay,
No, I think he might have joined Uriah Heep again in
okay,
'83.
so like he's always torn. Like he's always
Oh, he
within
did
the
something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think he joined, and then he was
um.
in Roxy Music. I think he was in Roxy Music. But
And it's funny because this album extremely popular with record buyers, but this was interesting, considered disappointing by music critics. Critics always have to hate.
of course,
And then fans, also progressive rock, hated the album, who found the music closer to radio-friendly, album-oriented rock, aka AOR, aka arena rock.
yeah, yeah,
And Asia clicked with fans of popular arena acts such as Journey and Styx, which by this point they're also blowing up with like
yeah, yeah.
um, with
Mr. Roboto,
Mr. Roboto and the album, the Paradise Theater album,
Paradise Theater was out.
obviously Journey with Don't Stop Believing, and
Yeah,
it's fascinating because and people don't know this, like they're a one hit wonder. Yeah, they had two top 40 hits for sure,
well,
but
Asia, I would say they were a one album wonder. You know what I mean? Like,
mm,
as far as like, they had two top 40 hits. Yeah, I think there was one. There was a third one.
I'll pose a trick question to people though. Name me two Asia songs. Most will not know. Only time will tell. They'll tell you in
Yeah,
the heat
here
of
in
the
a moment.
moment. So
Yeah,
that's why I think is there. You're right. One album wonder. The album is
yeah,
all
yeah,
killer, no filler.
yeah. I love Soul Survivor. That's
Oh,
one of my favorites. Yeah,
dude, my favorite is Only Time Will Tell because that song makes me tear up. Like
yeah,
Ryan's vocals is so and this is before I knew he was when I first encountered the album. Obviously, Heat of the Moment. I love that song because
yeah,
I was already a Don't Stop Believing fan. I love Bon Jovi at this point, like Bon Jovi.
yeah,
I was listening to Bon Jovi Living on a Prayer. So
yeah.
this kind of like was perfectly snug between those songs.
Oh yeah.
And I heard Only Time Will Tell and his vocals Only Time Will Tell. Like
Well,
it's a
let me
great.
tell you, I said this story a couple times on the podcast. I was in the Terrytown Music Hall. As a birthday present, I got tickets to see Asia, and I went to the bar,
What year was
and
this?
this was 2011 or 12.
Okay.
And I go to the bar, and all of a sudden I hear, "You're leaving now in your
Yeah.
eyes." I
There's
mean,
no disguising it.
whenever they say like the hairs on your arms stand
Yeah.
up, I mean, I was just like, oh
Well,
God. I was like, oh my God. I got hit, and I said to myself, I've seen so many great singers live in my life. John Wetton, the greatest live singer I've ever seen, bar none. The greatest live singer I've ever seen in my life is John
mhm.
Wetton.
No, dude, I'm telling you, he was my favorite for a long time.
Yeah,
And yeah, that song is just like devastating.
yeah,
Um, and the drumming too is like really good, like that sense of urgency in that song. And again, every song, Obviously eclipsed by Heat of the Moment, Only Time Will Tell, because I think those were the two top 40 hits.
I,
Soul Survivor is so
yeah.
good. Here Comes the Feeling, like every
Here comes the feel. Oh
I'm
God.
telling you, every track is like killer, no filler.
And I gotta laugh because here we are now in, oh Jesus, I feel so old. 2026. There's a line in Heat of the Moment goes, "You find yourself in 82." Oh my God. Imagine that. You find
Yeah.
yourself in
Yeah.
82.
Dan, 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 dan. Like,
The
dude,
year 1982, you find yourself in 1982. And now we're in 2026. What happened? Where did this go?
I don't even know what you're talking about because I was born in 93.
But you know that lyric? You
Yeah.
find yourself in
Yeah.
82, and I remember that always stuck with me. It was because I was 12 and, I was like, holy shit, my God, amazing. But so out of the supergroups, let's give it a rating. Who do you think is the most, like, who would you say, I don't want to say best, but like, is is your favorite? You know what I mean? Out of the four we mentioned, if you had to put them in order.
Either so the choices are King Crimson,
Yeah.
Asia,
UK.
ELP, and UK. My
Yeah.
favorite, okay, because of the emotions attached to it,
Yeah.
Asia.
I,
But
I, I
but
would say, yeah,
objective, King Crimson because of Red.
right. And I would say Asia's a one-hit wonder too, album. And then they went away.
Yeah, they kind of
Emerson,
like
Lake and
tanked.
Palmer,
Yeah,
we
and the
got
rest
more.
of the
We
yeah,
got.
that's a great point. And but I'm saying, but dude, Asia's self-titled debut is makes such an impression that
Oh yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I feel like it's a perfect gateway drug to progressive rock. Like it opens
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
doors. Because for me, it opened the doors 'cause I was listening to it and
Yeah.
teaching me about like complex instrumentation before I knew it was a thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But to be
And I
fair, like
think,
and I don't like how they make fun of like the arena rock because dude, every it's not easy to create like music that
no, Asia blended prog with pop.
yeah, which is brilliant.
And more than Rush did. Asia was a pop band.
Yep,
They had
yep,
pop hits.
yep.
Rush was pop E. They had some poppy elements, but Tom Sawyer compared to Heat of the Moment is way
Oh, that's
different.
way different.
You can't
Yeah,
compare them. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So Asia was a pop act in a sense with way prog elements and just amazing songwriting skills.
But that was a great point you made. That but one hit wonder album.
One hit wonder.
But
ELP.
ELP,
We
Cream
got the
Crimson, and
first album.
UK actually technically is a one hit wonder too. Yeah,
Yeah.
sad for John Wetton. Always one. Always
He didn't have a luck. He
no,
didn't have luck because he
no.
always was in these bands that never had more than three albums. Crimson, he did three albums, right? Then he did one album with Wishbone Ash.
Yeah, sad.
Asia, one album.
And he's
UK, one album. Uriah Heep, he did a couple albums, but
yeah,
he
it's
never.
sad.
And he has some solo work that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and he's one of
He,
the greatest vocalists and bass players.
but
So,
he's not known. People, a lot
well,
of people don't know
John
who John
Wetton,
Lennon is.
yeah,
Oh, the guy from Asia. Yeah, he's got a good voice. That kind of thing.
and
You'll
that's
never
not
know about his background being in
no,
Crimson.
no. So that's why people watch our show so you can kind of get a sense
Yeah,
of a lot of these players. But that's a great point you made with like ELP, Queen Crimson, like
like
they don't just have one albums, like
yeah.
they're
Let's
insane.
put it this way: when I got Asia, and I looked, there was no research, there's no internet, and I remember thinking John Wetton. I'm like, how do I know that name? And then I went to Red, and I'm like, he was in King Crimson. Oh my God, you
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like, or no, it was later on. It was like much later on when I figured it out. It was in my teens, I think, when I figured
Mm.
out he was in King Crimson.
Hmm.
Like I was like, no, yeah, trying to figure it out. When did I say I got Red? When I was like 14, and then I put two and two together. Like,
Hmm.
know that voice. I know that voice, and then it was
Mm.
John Wayne, so. But yeah, man.
What
So
about you?
that's
What about you? The greatest. What do you think?
Asia, because ELP is a supergroup that went on to do super albums.
Mm,
King Crimson's a supergroup that went on to do super albums. UK would be second.
hmm
You know, he only did one other album. Like Asia did that second album. It didn't do good. It
They
did.
did. They did more after that, but no one talks about it. I
Oh,
think
it wasn't good.
they're not that great. Yeah, and
No,
then
they,
went
they
and
try to,
leaving. Nah.
yeah, they try to keep it going. Steve Howe did some stuff in the 80s that was good too. And I can't think of the name of the group, but he did some really cool stuff with other poppy Asia style groups. I wish I knew their
hmm
name. I wish I knew their names. I forget. GTO or something like that. I think it was
hmm
called
Okay.
GTO. And then I believe that was really it until they till he never was in Yes in the
Never
80s.
again. No, no. Because
No.
yes, by
Well, until Union, until 1990.
right, right. And you said that that's a great album, the one of your favorites.
Oh, I love it. You know, one of my favorite, because it's every member. If you're a Yes fan, you have to love that album. And it's quality, you know, what
Mm.
really quality songwriting on that. So that I guess wraps up the super group, you know. Anything else on Asia?
No, I think that's it. I think good way to end the supergroup episode.
Yeah.
No.
Right. And I think it all lined up for Asia because Carl Palmer just was doing nothing. He left ELP.
Mm.
Jeffrey Downs and Howe quit Yes. Wetton was disgusted with, UK, and looking to do something and disgusted with Wishbone Ash and
Mm.
'cause they didn't want his work. He only sang two songs on the Wishbone Ash album, Number of the Brave. He only sang two songs on that album. Crazy.
Mm.
So then that was a band that the stars aligned, and for that
Yeah.
one album, 1982 to 84, they ruled the world.
Yeah, they really did. They I
Asia
think
ruled the world.
one of the biggest albums of that year.
Yeah, instant headlining tour for them. They didn't have to do much, but just go out and play. They had the songs and stuff. The album cover's iconic.
Yeah, number four, and again, heat of the moment, top 40, peak number four in the U.S. Billboard Top 100,
Yeah.
and number one in the Billboard Mainstream Rock album charts.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Rock.
In 1982, everyone was listening to that album. That and Pyromania. 82,
Yeah, Pyromania, right? Yeah.
82, 83. That was the biggest. I was in sixth grade. That was like the two biggest albums that we all would talk about. But we didn't know. We knew Steve Howe was in Yes, but we didn't know about the rest. I think we might have known who Carl Palmer was, but wasn't like we're like, oh, this is a super group. We're just like, oh, these guys are really good. We weren't talking about like their musicianship and their
hmm
drums. We're just like, these songs are great. Before you're a musician, I wish I could go back before I was a musician and see how my ears listen to things.
Mm. Yeah, you would have like my ears 'cause I'm not a musician.
Like I wish, when I was a kid, I was always listening to the bass. I don't know
hmm
why, but I didn't, it's like you changed. Once you became a musician, your ears are trained to listen to music
Yep.
differently. I
Yep.
would like to go back one day and just see what it feels like to listen to music not being a musician or not knowing what a bass is or not knowing, oh, the singer and that or the
hmm
history. It was pure innocence and emotion, and it. Right to your soul.
Mm.
So
I love it. And actually, just one more thing. It's fascinating. Album cover was by Roger Dean.
name sounds familiar.
And this dude created album covers for Yes, Uriah Heep, Gentle Giant. So like, and I'm pretty sure he made the
Right.
Yes logo.
Yeah, he did. He did. He was,
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure it's him.
yep. He did. Yeah, because I haven't written Fragile yet, but I was doing research for it, and that's why the name pops up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, we'll leave it here with Asia in the heat of the moment. Only time will tell.
Yep,
A swan song, right, for the super groups
definitely.
because, and it's funny. If anything, they spell the end for like,
Prog's over.
at
Like
this point, it's like
Prog
a
pop.
perfect swan song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
19. I mean, well, Rush. Rush,
Genesis selling out. Peter
bit-
Gabriel was doing his own thing, but he was already like um already reaching chart success with his own brand of art pop music.
it's
Uh
different than Genesis. Like Duke was awesome, but it wasn't proggy. It was great songs, you know?
yes, yes. It had like it's similar to very yeah, it's like more simplistic than what you found before.
Yeah,
So great. Like the opener is like 8 minutes. But it's much simpler and has
yeah.
a great tracks on it. Um, Jethro Tull, I think at this point they're kind
They
of
were gone.
gone. They're still doing their own thing. I think they were
Yeah.
always good
They had a
live.
song. This is how bad Jethro Tull got, and I like this one. They had a song called "Kissing Willie."
Gosh, sounds so pedo. Anyway,
Yeah, you know.
um, yes, we know already selling out, and their album, my opinion, pales to.
Oh no, okay, that's a good question. Fans out there, what would you rather hear? Asia's first album
Yeah,
or
or yeah,
90182?
901.
What would you rather hear? I would say Asia in a heartbeat, you
Yeah,
know.
the other one they got minimalistic 80s sound is full frontal.
Yeah,
Um and yeah, like and Pink Floyd were already done. They released Roger Waters like I think it was 79 the Wall album and then he releases I don't like the album, the final cut I think, but it's not
yeah.
that good. At this
The
point
only,
Gilmore
the only Prague things going on in the 80s was Kansas was still doing it, but it was pop. But
but they weren't hits anymore. I think they were done by
no, but they had some good songs. It wasn't really Prague, but they had
but
Asia.
no, but I'm saying like they're
Asia.
gone though from like the like
Oh yeah, they're going from leftover
yeah,
to
they're still doing their own thing, but I
yeah.
don't know.
There's another band I was gonna say. Oh
Styx was
oh
doing their own thing.
yeah, Sticks.
Styx
Got to get
if
Sticks props. Yep.
Styx was doing, but you know what's funny? Styx is fascinating, but in their '80s output, they moved away from like kind of like the very heavy prog sound. Like Paradise Theater are all pop hits,
Yeah.
1981, but it's a great concept. There are some great tracks on that.
Yeah.
And then obviously, actually, I kind of killed them. And after that, they kind of were dead. Kilroy was here.
Yeah.
They
Como
created,
arigato, Mr.
yo,
Barbato.
cheesy, one of the
Como.
most
It
cheesy
was
80s.
bad.
Domo, domo, arigato, miss. Thank you very much, Mr.
Mr.
Dude, that's kind of
Barbato. It's
racist.
fucking horrible.
Dude, the
Horrible.
band hated this album.
Kilroy!
Yeah. I
Kilroy!
Kilroy.
It became
Kilroy.
it became real theatrical, you know.
Although I have a soft spot for it. Um, But yeah, you're wondering who I am. Secret,
Yeah.
secret. I
I
got a
got a
secret.
secret. What about that album cover I sent you? Oh my God.
Oh gosh, dude.
That's the cringiest,
Dude, it's
worst. Tommy Shaw looks like a little boy.
dude, they look like pedos, man. Like I don't
They look
know, man.
bad.
Like who else? Who else did we leave?
Unrockable.
Yes, gone.
One band is the only thing. Two, well, Marillion. Marillion is exploding at this point.
Okay,
Under
but not
Clark.
globally. I never
Oh,
heard of them
in England, in England,
in England.
Marillion is doing the prog thing, and then there's this little band from Canada doing it.
Right, Rush yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, the
So there's
little
nobody.
band from
Oh, and then there was one album, Emerson Lake and Powell, Cozy Powell.
was they have a hit?
Yeah, they had a big hit on MTV, and I can't think of the name of it. And
Oh
it was a
wow.
great
Was it
song.
Prague?
Yeah, it was prog. It was all keyboards in the beginning. Had a prog element to it, and I don't think Palmer didn't do it out of anger or anything. Maybe it's contractual things, but it's a great album. And then they reunited in the '90s. Um, Jason Bonham opened up for them
Mm.
at one point, but Rush is the only true them and
Mm.
Marillion, in my opinion, prog acts in the
Mm.
'80s. I can't think of any other band
Yeah,
that
they
was
carried
prog.
the successfully, I might add, like
Yeah.
moving pictures, signals, obviously uh I'm blanking on the name. The one with Red Sector A.
Oh well, Grace Under Pressure.
Grace Under Pressure.
Now, mind you, in '87, Operation Mindcrime comes out, now by Queensryche. And now a whole new world of prog is it coming out. It's
Yeah,
called
prog
prog
metal
metal.
is born. Yeah, yeah, which Russia
So
already on the forefront.
so Queensryche started this movement with Operation
Hmm.
Mindcrime,
Hmm.
which led to like Fate's Warnings, No Exit.
Hmm.
A year later, or a year before, actually, No Exit came out. Did No Exit come out before Operation Mindcrime? Maybe around the same time.
Mm.
Then that led up to bands like Dream Theater, Fate's Warning,
After in the 90s, right? Like
Queensryche,
Ace. Yeah.
and like this whole prog metal movement came out. A band called Watchtower, Wrathchild America, Lethal, Annihilator. I was just Wrath, Sanctuary. I was just in love with prog metal because it was prog rock, just heavy, distorted. Injustice for All by Metallica. The last
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
hate me, Metallica fans, but it's the truth. The last best album they ever did, and it's proggy. It's prog metal. Metallica is prog metal on Injustice for All. Definitely, they were
Yeah.
in. They were influenced by prog metal.
One of the only times they did it, I think.
Yeah, I
You know?
love that album. I couldn't believe when it came out. I could not believe it. I felt guilty because I was listening to that more than I was listening to Hold Your Fire. I got both of them the same
I mean,
day.
Hold Your Fire is good, but when you compare it to And Justice for All, I mean,
I
Rush
got
should have been doing that. Like, you know?
I got that. I got them both the same day, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, what is Metallica? I heard one, and I was like, this is and one is about a book, Johnny Get Your Gun. They took a prog idea of a book and they
Mm.
wrote a song about it. So
Yeah, so the influences of Prague, but yeah,
and then they
so
and then they became complete
yeah.
sellouts, Metallica, in my book.
Yeah.
Eh, for their own pockets, they made a lot of money, and for the rest of the world to make them
Mm.
legendary, that's great. I'm happy for them, but I lost interest in Metallica on the Black Album.
Exit light,
I think it's cheesy.
enter night. We
I,
go from that to, like, yeah, what you
darkness, imprisoning
imprisoning
me,
me,
taking my
absolute
sight,
me,
taking my
absolute
head.
horror. I cannot, like, dude, to exit light,
But what happened is they took a 4 year break because they toured so much, and the music climate changed.
and
And
nothing else
yeah,
matters.
God, I hate that fucking song. I really do. I only, but there are some great albums, great songs on the Black Album, like of Wolf and Man and
Yeah, my fear is Holier Than Thou, which is pretty good.
Struggle with It.
And whenever I may roam with the sitars,
That's good.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that's a great
yeah, yeah,
song.
yeah, yeah. And MTV played that. Oh,
Yeah, they were
that.
like MTV helped them. If anything, it's interesting. They were one of the sounds of the 90s, which
Yeah,
crazy. I mean,
yeah.
again, like they had their similar kind of how our favorite bands, progressive rock bands sold out in the 80s. They kind of did the same thing in the 90s.
But they became so popular that they immortalized themselves.
Yeah.
Metallica,
Yeah,
yeah,
Metallica, just the
yeah,
logo too. Like
yeah. Guns
um
N' Roses waved the flag, but then there's a little band from Texas called Pantera that just blew everybody off the fucking map.
mm,
And I consider Pantera a part of that prog movement as well, the prog metal.
mm,
Not
mm.
completely, it's debatable because they had this swinging groove, but they were proggy as
That's
fuck.
interesting. See, I kind of disagree with that, but if you make that
You,
argument,
when you listen to some of the stuff that they're doing musically, it's almost proggy, like prog metal. You know what I
mm,
mean? Uh, I recommend Dream Theater, Fates Warning, and Queensryche as the masters of prog metal.
mm,
And if you want to go obscure, check out this band Watchtower. Oh my God, they were relayer
mm,
with heavy Marshall stacks and guitars.
mm,
In a band called Toxic, World Circus, and Think This. They were from Ossining, New York. It was
mm,
a great movement, and I was so glad to live it from 1988 till about 1990, 91. No, from 1987 to about 1990 is
mm.
the rock movement of metal. That's
Yeah.
it's the whole good 3 solid years where we were like, yeah, finally we got some, Maiden took prog elements and
Hmm.
finally there's this movement of like art rock coming back, prog metal. Then boom, a little band from Seattle comes
Yo,
and
put the acts on that too.
Destroyed a
Like
lot of dreams. You know.
devastating. Yeah, it's yeah, short-lived too on that front.
Yeah.
Yeah, its own punk thing, which is fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Cheech, man. Any last minute things?
Amazing episode. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's our New Year's show. And I think our next show we're gonna have Silky Joey
Silky Joe.
who'll be coming back.
The legendary Silky Joe.
And then I
Yo,
think
I,
we
I don't think he understands that his name is immortalized on the internet.
oh it
Silky
is
Joe.
Silky Joe. And we're gonna do the best prog singers, which
That
is
would
a
be fascinating. Yeah,
yeah.
that would be a great discussion.
And it could be anybody, it doesn't have to necessarily be, John Anderson, who I think's a little nasally.
Yeah, he was like, it's funny. I think it's nasally, but it's not like Geddy Lee. It's just, it's,
I think it's sweet. I think his voice is
yeah,
sweet.
yeah.
It's angelic, but
Because when you talk nasally, like that's Getty, like in the
it,
tiny on a V, like his is
yeah,
like banana banana, like it's like it's nasally, but he has that high tenor. I think it's tenor,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's so angelic and
But
smooth.
it's not nasally like Getty. You're right. But it's not. He's not singing from his nose. But I don't know how to describe it. It definitely has it's unique. John Anderson, I think, is one of
It's
greatest singers.
if I try to mimic it, it's like I'll be the roundabout. Like that's how it sounds. It's
Yeah,
nasal.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
he's
yeah,
not
yeah.
singing from like. And it's funny, and I get it because nasally is like, like
Bob Dylan is
a
nasally.
Monday warrior, why,
Yeah,
like, or freaking Bob Dylan. It's from
yeah.
here to here. I ain't gotta work on Maggie's farm.
Yeah. I get it, but that was just my interpretation of it. I don't know,
Joe,
maybe
yeah, it's funny how you Joe had these like he doesn't think Zephelin's a super group. You do, I do, obviously. I'm in the middle.
well, only because,
I can see both points. Like, you know what I
musician
mean?
there were super musicians that were known who came into the band.
Right.
Jimmy and John Paul Jones were
Boom,
already
boom, da,
known.
dum, dum, boom, dun, da,
Yeah.
dum, from their debut.
Oh my God. And that album, Jesus Christ, what a
Oh, dude, that
debut.
debut alone. There's
We should
Zeppelin
do,
episode.
we should do an episode, who has the greatest debut album.
Dude, let's write it and let's feature Silky
Hey,
Joe.
hold on. Thank you, Mr. Black.
Thanks, Mr.
I'm
Black.
sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
he's like typing and writing as we speak.
Yeah, he has a little card.
He's like, come on. He's like, it's
Yeah,
like a typewriter.
I got a little text from Mr.
Yeah.
Black.
The greatest debut. That'd be a great discussion.
Emerson, Lake and
We
Palmer,
should
Led
do if we
Zeppelin.
feature if it's just us, we're gonna go detail analyzing on it. If Joe's featured, maybe like top three debut that we
Oh,
think,
that's a Silky Joe episode.
and have a
Definitely.
great
Yeah.
discussion on that. Like, what makes
What
it
is the greatest rock debut album? Who
right.
who did it?
That's a
And
that's a
that's a hard pick.
that's a
Or
great
or
discussion.
how about our top 10? Our top 10
Okay.
greatest debut albums, because you can't pick one. You can't pick one. It's
Okay. Okay.
impossible to pick one.
It's gonna be a long episode, but okay.
Yeah. And then still the debate of Deep Purple being Prague. I'm still throwing
Oh,
that out there.
I don't think they're frog. Like that's
No,
that one I have to really sharply
no.
disagree.
Prague, well, they did the orchestra thing, but you had a good point. So
But
did a lot of
I
other
think that's
bands.
more Baroque pop or metal rock. I don't think
Yeah.
that's prog. Like, of course, there's like orchestra. You know what's fascinating though? This is another hot take. Orchestrations, it's not really in prog. I'm just gonna. There are a few exceptions,
Yeah.
but most of it is actually taking classical musical structures, taking that skeletal frame and incorporating it in like the rock form.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
really playing to an orchestra.
No, no.
That is more Baroque pop that like the Beatles were already making and the Beach Boys,
Yeah, they
where
were
they
doing that
took
stuff.
actual orchestrated music and like
Yeah,
played along to it. See, that's why I don't think they're prog for that reason.
yeah, yeah.
And they played the organ, but the organ was already a fixture in rock music. Prog just took it to the next level, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Prague took the orchestra
That's why,
structure.
Bobby's gonna be mad at this, but like they're not prog.
Well, no, there was just this question. I don't think he was asking, and I
No, no,
was kind of
it's a
like,
joke. It's a
yeah,
joke. Yeah,
Prague
a little joke.
elements.
But again, no, no. But if you think that'd be a great like discussion
I
point.
don't. I don't. I mean, I think they're Prog influence. Let's put it that
I
way.
think that's better.
You
Maybe, but
know,
if anything, I think it's more hard rock, heavy metal, and
you
blues.
could say is Rainbow Prog. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
you could fight
So
that
now
too.
that's different, though. They are prog because of their structures and that
But they're
singer.
metal. They're
See, I
not.
see Rainbow's prog, but then they lose that quick with that song. Since you've been gone.
Yeah, well, that's later.
It
I think it maybe Rainbow's the first prog metal band.
could be, yeah, yeah. Along
That
with
that that
Rush's 2112 and Early Rainbow with Ronnie James Dio.
yeah, that could be another one that started prog metal with along with Red,
Hmm.
and all that kind of stuff. So, but I love the concept. Top 10 debut albums.
Yeah, we're running by Silky Joe,
I'm
Mr.
gonna
Black.
text Joe that Joe's gonna be like, "Oh no, here we go. I gotta come up with another list."
Yeah, he's gonna be like, oh, Cheech, you're killing me.
It's my cat, Mr. Black. But anyway, Happy New Year. This was a great episode. Please let us know out of the four groups, who's your favorite supergroup? Me and Manny said ours, Asia and UK.
Mm.
Can't really count the other two, but please put in the comments who your favorite supergroup is, and you know, and if you like the new theme song music that you've been hearing that Manner's been posting, thank you. That's my old group Visions
Mm.
from 1993. You could check us out. We're on the I believe we're on the Cheech and Manny page. You can hear our
First
music on.
track, yeah. And then well,
Yeah,
I'll be releasing all the tracks, so I'll get the first track on that, which is
yeah.
called
What is it called? Love and Peace.
Love and Peace.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, if you made it this far, I think we'll probably do 2 hours on this one. We said we're gonna do about an hour.
I know. I know we had
But
so many tangents, yeah, but if you made it this far, give this video a like,
yeah,
subscribe, comment below,
yeah,
and then look forward to more Teacher Manny music
yeah.
podcast content.
In 2026,
Welcome
can't imagine.
2026.
I can't imagine singing. Now you find yourself in 82. You find yourself in 26. Oh my
Now you
God.
find yourself.
Oh Jesus. Well, anyway, Manny, Happy New Year.
Yes, sir.
And I will see you at the temple. And great episode. Nanu, Nanu. And see you next time.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. In the heat of the moment, and only time will tell.
And check out this is a part of our prog rock Bible. I
Hmm.
think we put out Genesis, ELP, and Crimson
Hmm.
in our top 10 prog songs that we love for Tilky
Yep.
Joe. So
Yep.
check, we're hitting it hard with prog, releasing them.
Mm.
So hope you enjoy them, everybody. And see you next time.
All right, Cheech. Till the
All right,
next one.
take
Always a
care.
pleasure, brother. Take
Same
care.
here, brother. All righty.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye.